Moving forward, all new medications introduced by Pfizer to the American market will be sold at the reduced most favored nation cost. So we'll be paying essentially what other countries are paying, who have been much lower, much lower for many, many years.
President Trump makes that monumental announcement on Tuesday from the Oval Office. He was joined by members of the Trump administration as well as the CEO of Pfizer. President Trump also announcing he plans to launch a Trump RX website. It's where Americans can purchase prescription medications at a heavily discounted rate without having to go through insurance. The administration hopes to launch the site by early 2026.
Also present at Tuesday's announcement is our next guest, Dr. Mehmet Oz. He is the administrator for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Great to have you here, Dr. Oz. Explain to us the impact that this deal will have for all Americans and how life-changing it truly can be.
So let me put some numbers behind the comments you just heard President Trump make in that press outing. We have in America a bizarre situation where our drugs, even if they're made in the same factory with the same product, same bottle, cost 3 times more on average than the exact same item sold in Europe or other developed countries. And for that reason, a lot of Americans, when they go to the drugstore, cannot pick up their medications. It's about 1 in 3 actually get sticker shock and run away. And many Americans have to choose between groceries and their medications. The president has been frustrated by this for years. He tried to address it in the first administration, and he has called me continuously and Secretary Kennedy to make sure that we had this high in our agenda of items to address. It took some negotiating. We had some tools that we could apply pressure with, and we were able to get Pfizer, who is a leading pharmaceutical company, and their CEO to come to the Oval Office and make the commitment to do what I think all pharmaceutical companies will do, which is to allow our nation to buy medications for our people at the same price as other countries. It's called most favored nation. So you get the same prices as anywhere else on the planet. We're not asking for better, but we're saying if we're funding all the research, which we're more than half is coming from U.S. coffers, if we're spending a lot of effort trying to make sure that our Americans are healthy, we should be able to get the best pricing, certainly equal pricing to anybody else.
Absolutely. Why should Americans have to pay more if other nations are not? And Pfizer seemed to be the one to take up the offer by President Trump. Wanted to dive into some Axios reporting here. They're kind of looking at other drug makers that maybe might want to get in on the action here. It's titled this, Pfizer-Trump deal blindsides other drug companies, but it alludes to the fact that maybe Eli Lilly could be looking to make a deal with the Trump administration. Is that something you could elaborate on? And then also, Dr. Oz, what kind of drugs are we talking about?
Well, I can't elaborate on a specific company, but obviously we've reached out to all the major companies. The letter that the president wrote over the summer with frustration saying these negotiations aren't going fast enough were sent to 17 companies, all the big companies you would imagine. But we want to make sure that we preserve innovation at the same time we get good pricing. So I'm sensitive to the fact that if we just put what socialist countries do, which is don't pay for the medications, they'll stop innovating and we'll stop curing cancer. So the goal here is to allow companies to get a little more money from other countries and in return charge us significantly less. We've got other tools to make sure that what I'm saying will happen and come to fruition. And we believe that eventually most, if not all, of the pharmaceutical companies will come in and agree to work with us on everything ranging from drugs for psoriasis and autoimmune problems, intestinal issues, cancers, Alzheimer's, weight loss. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ailments that we are actually right on the cusp of making huge inroads on. And many we've actually gotten well into the success category. I mean, the chances of surviving cancer in America, advanced cancer, is significantly higher than other countries for this reason. And I treasure that, and I'm going to protect that as the head of CMS. But I want to make sure that with the right price for these medications. Certainly, if you're willing to sell it, the same medication to another country, you should be willing to sell it to our people as well.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.